Chicka jockey! All right, now that I got your attention, hello everyone, and welcome to episode 46 of the Diverse Dialogues podcast. I'm Mateo.
And I'm Ruben.
And for today's episode, as you probably would already tell just from that announcement and just from looking at the title, even though, why am I even talking about it? We're doing the Minecraft movie. We're reviewing the Minecraft movie, even though we watched this months ago.
Yeah.
And the movie came out probably a year or years ago.
A year ago, yeah.
Yeah, so, why are we doing it now?
We'll get into it. Funnily enough, after the questions, yet before the review itself.
Okay, to calm ourselves a little bit down, yes, we are going to be doing the Minecraft movie because it was a movie that we have watched previously and we were trying to do a review of it, but we, I guess, just because of certain other topics that we wanted to go through first, we're now going to go through it just to get out of the way. So, and for the first time in a while, since episode 38, we actually got questions this time, as Ruben just mentioned earlier.
Yep.
So, 2 questions each. If you are new to the channel and you haven't seen our podcast before, we would usually, not anymore because we would just repeat topics.
Yep.
Give 2 questions each, just to add some time, but we've done pretty much better at adding time without adding the questions than the previous podcasts, but, you know, since it's a review, it's bound, and also it's a new topic since it's Minecraft.
Yep.
Which is, I'm surprised because Minecraft is my all-time favorite game, so there's my little fun fact about me right there.
It's the Kitchen Nightmares episode all over again. It's like, how did we just now start this topic?
True. Alright, who should go first?
I guess I'll go first, since mine's mainly about Minecraft itself. So the first one is, when did you get into Minecraft? A very simple one.
10 years old. Now, I remember when I was younger, Minecraft was of course blowing up at the time, and I was like, I don't know. It just, because my first impression of it was the servers where it was like Bed Wars and stuff like that. So like, I did not care for that stuff. Like competitive stuff, I did not care for. Damn, I had a better judgment of video games than I am right now. Competitive games, nah. But then an ex-friend of mine showed me what the game actually is on a tablet, and I'm like, oh, okay, maybe I'll actually like this a little bit more. And then I tried it on my my tablet, no, iPad, either one, and yeah, I was like, oh, okay, I actually kind of like this. And then, well, because I first started off with survival mode, and my number one go-to place is creative mode because I love expressing my creativity, I love building, and yeah, ever since I got it on the Xbox 360, Xbox 360, my younger self exploded in creativity with that game. And not to get a bit sappy here, but I wish I still had that same creativity because I kind of lost my love, not for Minecraft, but just for video games in general over the past few years. And not because of the stupid, they don't hit as much anymore, like that ignorant, that ignorant saying, but just because, I guess just because of being in so much competitive games, not saying it's your guys' fault, but just having so many bad experiences with competitive gaming just like kind of tainted my enjoyment and my want to do more for video games. So that's why you don't really see me as like playing video games as much anymore. And it's not because, like I said, it's not because, you know, because I'm like, oh, the good games are only made back then and not now. Like, of course there's going to be good games nowadays, but it's just like, I'm just not as interested. But Minecraft will forever be my comfort game because, like I said, it's a game I go back to build. And you know, it's so much so to the point where my friends would ask me, "Do you have a life?" Which was something that Landon actually asked me one time after when he saw my castle world, the same world that you saw in the first introduction of the Diverse Society. Like get to know the Diverse Society members. There was a skit where it's like, I just finished my base, and Ruben was like, "That ain't no goddamn base. That's a goddamn castle."
Yeah,
we do need to redo an intro, by the way. A little bit of a steer off topic, but we are trying to make a brand new intro / trailer to the channel itself. But yeah, no, Minecraft is my all-time favorite game, and now I'm actually going to give it to Ruben now.
I got into it in 2012. Okay, no, there's a little more to that. So, like I said, it was 2012, and around this time I was also playing Roblox a lot, okay? Yeah, I played Roblox before it was mainstream. But anyways, I saw, I was at it was my uncle's computer. He was playing Minecraft. And I said, hey, is that Roblox? And he's like, no, it's Minecraft. See, it's a totally different game. So I was like, oh, okay. I thought this was Roblox. And yeah, I just saw it. It looked cool, but I didn't really question it. And then my brother would show me videos of like those Minecraft like song parodies, like Revenge by Captain Sparkles. Yeah.
Oh no, sorry. It's a fucking bubble from this can. I was like, what the
Okay.
fuck is that noise?
Yeah. But yeah. Weirdly enough, it was those freaking those parody music videos that got me into Minecraft. It was Revenge by Captain Sparkles and TNT and all that other shit.
I never watched those as a kid, surprisingly.
Okay. Uh, and then I asked my uncle, "Hey, can I play Minecraft on your computer?" And he's like, "Okay, sure." So then I try. I have no idea what the fuck I'm doing, you know. Uh, but either way, I got hooked into it. And then it came out on Xbox. You know, remember it was on Xbox 360. Remember those days?
Yep, that's basically where my creativity ran wild at the beginning.
Yeah. You know, you played that demo where you're in that small little area and you only get to play for like 5 minutes. Yeah, I remember those days.
Yeah, the tutorial map.
Yeah.
God, man.
And then fast forward to like
What happened? I'm just kidding.
yeah, what happened? And then 2015, that's when I like dropped it. And then of course I got back into it when everyone was back into it, like 2019 or something.
Yeah, mainly when when the group was starting to form back in high school was when like the next big
Yeah.
a lot of memories came from like a lot of the early memories of the Diverse Society came from Minecraft, oddly enough.
Yeah. And I remember Montana, of all people, helped me get like the Bedrock version of it, which that's how you're able to do crossplay with people on Xbox.
You're right, yeah, because you weren't able to do it at first.
Yeah, because I bought the Java one, but yeah, got it from there, and then we all started playing it together, and then
it was me, Montana, you, and Glenn.
Yep.
But mainly just me, you, and Glenn.
Yep.
But yeah, we made the Diverse Society house, fucking like
Yeah, we weren't even called the Diverse Society. We were just called
the group or VLMGD.
Yep. Or better yet, the Four Gamers.
We were not called that.
I know. I'll get more into it surprisingly before this review.
Yeah, but we had a lot of great memories, and I wish the group had like wanted to play Minecraft more often because it's one of my favorite games of all time. But unfortunately, because of a certain someone, Jordan, not liking it, and now nobody wants to play it. So it's unfortunate, but because all we play is just Marvel Rivals.
Yeah.
And now that game is already becoming so goddamn stale for me.
Yeah, it's gotten to the point I'm just playing games by myself. I either play Power World. Hell, I don't even play Dead by Daylight. That's how much
I've been noticing that.
Yeah. That's how much I've been losing interest in other games. Now I'm just playing Power World, and I know for damn well no one is playing that. Yet I just play that anyways.
But yeah, I would love to play Minecraft with the group more often like we used to, but you know. Oh yeah.
That was only one question.
I know, right? My questions pertain more to the movie itself. You know, that dumpster fire. What was your initial thoughts when you first saw the announcement of the movie and the trailer for the movie? Okay, I shall let you go first since I responded first.
So when I heard the announcement, these were my exact first words. How is that gonna work? Is it like gonna be a CG movie? Is it live action? How are they gonna make Minecraft a movie? And then the trailer came out, and I'm like, what the fuck is this? Why is half of it live action and the other half CGI? Why is it real people in a CG world? And yeah, that's basically it, because I was like astounded. I was like, oh, what?
I heard the announcement, and I'm like, of course they're gonna make a Minecraft movie. It was at the time when I believe Sonic was doing good with because back then video game movies were hot garbage.
They were horrible.
Until Sonic and what came first? Super Mario or
Sonic movie came first.
Well, I mean, but from Minecraft wise, I know Sonic came first, but what came first? Super Mario or Minecraft?
Super Mario.
Okay, so yeah, both those video game movies kicked ass. well, I prefer the Sonic
Well,
movies.
for the Mario movie, I'd say it's the first one.
Yeah. But
Sonic
the
movies.
Sonic movies were like they are the best performing video game movies of all time. Which, by the way, I'm kind of worried for Sonic 4 because how can you top Sonic 3? To be fair with you, I don't know if you can.
Mm-hmm.
But that's not what we're talking about. I'm like, sure, yep, it's gonna happen. It's a Minecraft movie. It was at the time when video game movies were finally starting to get good again. You had to fumble it with Minecraft, the #1 selling game of all time, by the way, probably besides GTA 5.
Mm-hmm.
And I see the trailer. The first thing I see is a thumbnail with the CGI dog, and I'm like, oh no.
Mm-hmm.
And I watch it, and I'm like, I'm literally giving you the exact like uncomfortable, disappointing silence.
Yeah.
From a Minecraft fan that's been there for a long time. From a person that's denied it from the beginning to then loving it as being my favorite game of all time. This just hurt to look at. And then you find animations of people who did like fully animated, and those look 20 billion times better because it looked directly from the game.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there could have been so many different directions they could have taken it, but of course, just having Jack Black be in 2 of those video game movies, by the way.
Yeah.
And also, I guess it's just like, like the return of Jack Black in almost everything, too. That was another thing.
Yeah.
Kung Fu Panda 4. That was Kung Fu Panda 4, then
The
Minecraft movie, and then
the
Super Mario movie. So he was literally in everything.
Mm-hmm.
Again.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I was just mainly disappointed.
Yeah.
And of course, it got memed to oblivion.
Mm-hmm.
Which is going to be probably something that he's going to reference soon.
Oh yeah, most definitely. Anyways, I guess I'll move on to my question.
Yes, please.
This one's a bit of a curveball question, but I thought it'd be interesting to ask is, what is your favorite Minecraft update? For me, it was the Nether update, because before then, okay, now going to the Nether is necessary here and there, but like, honestly, you can beat the Ender Dragon without even needing to go into the Nether. And more importantly, nobody used gold before then.
Mm-hmm.
Literally nobody. If people saw gold, they won't even mine it. They'll just go straight to diamonds.
At most, they will use it for a clock, and that's it.
Pretty much, yeah. Until the Nether update, where going to the Nether is actually worth going into. So, let's see here. You got a bunch of trees there, as well as another respawn thing. It's basically the bed there, so you can basically sleep in the Nether, even though most regular people would not do that anyways. And most importantly, it made gold useful.
Mm-hmm.
Because you go to the pigmen, you trade them your gold, and you get stuff ranging from okay to really good items.
Yeah, no, that was a really, really good update.
And
you got more stuff to worry about. You got, did the Netherite came out at the...
Yeah, the Netherite came out, so there was a stronger material to go after, even if that material was really hard to get.
I have yet to find it, by the way, in any of the newest survival worlds I've worked on since that update. I've never seen it.
Honestly, yeah, that's true. And then you got, I forgot what those creatures were, but those things that can walk on lava.
The Striders?
I think that's what they're called. Those are really cool. And what else?
Can't control them for shit, but they are cool.
Yeah. And yeah, I'd say that's my favorite update.
The camel update. No, I'm just kidding. No, but I actually do kind of love the camel because it's basically just the horse, but more useful because it can swim, and it can just and it has a sprint option, so you can either go slow or run faster, and also it can do like a boost forward. But that's not my favorite update, obviously. It's a tie between the Caves and Cliffs update because it made Minecraft so much more grand, and it took a lot of effort to make sure that every world that people worked on, they had to raise the actual ground level of the world up, so that way they could make like just these cavernous caves. Because back then, caves were just tunnels, and then occasional just that. But now it's like it's open, like really like sometimes beautiful, like cavernous things, and like, and you know, I'm pretty sure many people were like, dude, we can make the coolest builds with this. And the mountains look like mountains.
Yeah.
And they're tall and like in fucking like I personally really liked it. I know a lot of people didn't really like it, but I personally loved that. Every time Minecraft just makes it look so much better, I personally love it. But the other one is the update with the vibrant visuals, because we've all heard the memes of when people add shaders to Minecraft and their PC just explodes, but now they made it into a whole like just a thing within the game, so you don't have to worry about that. And Minecraft has never looked more beautiful than ever before. Yes, it's not as realistic as the shaders that we grew up with. Whenever we see Minecraft building tutorials and shit,
Yeah.
like the grass moving and shit, it's not like completely there. But no, when I first saw that, I legitimately was astounded by how incredible Minecraft looks now.
Mhm.
Like it came a long way from looking very dull to now being as very beautiful, especially with both the caves and the vibrant visuals. Because the sunsets, like you can literally see sun rays in this game.
Mhm.
Shadows, like, bruh, I fucking love it. I legitimately fucking love it. All right, and to end off the questions, if it will actually okay, back to the Minecraft movie related question. What were your expectations going into this movie?
Okay, so I had no idea if the movie was good, or if the movie was bad, or if the movie was mediocre, or if anyone even saw this movie, because literally the only thing I heard out of that movie when people left their theaters was chicken jockey. That's it. So I had no idea what I was expecting watching the movie.
I'm pretty sure that whole thing ruined people's trust for movie theaters going
Yeah.
forward.
Yeah, most definitely. Like, I mean, honestly, I don't really like going into movie theaters like to begin with, but because it's expensive and all that shit, having to wait through the previews, all that shit. I'd rather just watch a streaming service. But ever since the chicken jockey thing, I have very less trust going into the movie theaters now.
I would only do it for like I would go to movie theaters only for like specific movies that are like maybe like Doomsday or something. Like I feel like that's
Doomsday
warranted.
is one I will actually go to theaters.
Yeah.
I
Where
was
it's like,
considering it for Spider-Man Brand New Day, but I was like, honestly, I think I'll just wait until streaming service.
maybe the upcoming Ghost Rider movie, I might consider that.
Hmm.
Maybe Sonic 4. Like there's only like a select few. I did tell myself I want to see the Mortal Kombat 2 movie on the big screen, but then I was just like, eh. I'd rather just watch it with my friends and just laugh at it. And yeah, we definitely did that.
I think the last movie I went to theaters with was the Mario Galaxy movie. Well, and I had to see it because, as you guys may know from that one Mario podcast, I love Mario.
Yeah. And I think that's it, right?
Yeah.
All right. Now we're going to be moving on to the actual review. It's already been 18 minutes.
Okay. Well, I know y'all are here for the review, but there's actually something I do want to talk about before we get into this review.
Yep.
So, as you guys may know, this is a movie about Minecraft, and we just expressed how much we loved it. And adding a little more to what I said earlier, yeah, this game holds a very special place in our hearts, and I am so grateful that this game was here during the pandemic times. I'm sure we all remember those days.
Mm-hmm.
And this was, for a while, this was the only game we played, and even around then, we still played Minecraft. Like, Minecraft was our default game during the pandemic. And, even if I didn't enjoy it, or even if I just did not like playing video games to begin with, I'm very grateful that this game has existed, because without Minecraft, I would have gone even more insane than I already am after the pandemic.
It probably would have not brought the group a little closer than it is right now.
Yeah, true, when you really think about it that way. So, with all of that being said, with all the positivity we've just talked about with Minecraft, does that mean we will give Minecraft a high rating simply for the fact that it's based off of a very beloved video game in our hearts? No. Because that's not how reviewing movies works, all right? Because no matter what the source material is, even if that source material is something I love, I'm not going to give the movie a 10 out of 10. I could say the same thing with the Mortal Kombat movies, the Five Nights at Freddy's movies, and even the Mario movies, because, as I just mentioned, Mario Galaxy was the last movie I've seen. And as much as I love Mario Galaxy today, that movie was honestly mediocre.
As much as I haven't even heard, I haven't even seen that movie still. So, but I've heard, I was aware of that it did not do as good as the first one.
Mm-hmm. And with the upcoming Dead by Daylight movie, which God knows when that's going to happen, I'm not going to give it a 10 out of 10. Then again, I'll just blend in like most DVD community members and just hate whatever I'm given. Hell, if there was, for whatever goddamn reason, a Hotline Miami movie, I'm still not going to give it a 10 out of 10 unless the movie's actually good.
Couldn't agree more.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's certain people out there that just, they see the source material, they instantly give it a 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
Not going to say anything else about it. But yeah,
Anyways, with all that being said, let's actually get into this review.
After 21 minutes, I should say.
Yeah. Sorry for anyone who was actually waiting for this.
Yes, but we're now going to get into the Minecraft movie, which was a massive disappointment. But it was an enjoyable... Nah, it was just mediocre as shit.
I'll talk about it. So the movie starts with the Minecraft loading in the world thingy. I'm sure you all
the PC, the PC version, I think, right?
Yeah, I guess so.
Because it doesn't happen in the console.
Okay, and then you get voiceover from Steve, played by the one and only Jack Black. Now, I know we just started this review, but let's just talk about Jack Black for a minute. Because, I forgot to mention this, but when I heard Jack Black was playing this character, at first I was like, why? But then, realistically, Steve from the Minecraft games has literally no personality. He has a canvas of a personality. You can make him anything.
He's just a fucking avatar. He's a blank canvas. You literally, you can't associate him with a character. The most character he's ever had was in him as a DLC in Smash Bros.
Yeah. Literally all you get from his personality is whenever he gets hurt, he goes, ooh.
Yep.
That's literally his entire personality. But other than that...
And then they got rid of it. So now it's just nothing.
Yeah. But other than that, you can make him anything. You can make him just a regular guy. You can make him a guy who advocates a horror movie about a shopping cart. I'm not going to forget about that until the end of time, by the way. But yeah. I just wanted to bring that up. I know we just started, but yeah. So anyways, Steve gives a narration about, the universe is a sandbox and it's full of epic tales. And so the movie goes into live action with Steve as a kid, and he says, "My name is Steve, and as a child, I yearned for the mines." This is just the beginning of this podcast, by the way. But even though he was a kid, the miners working there would not allow him because, he's a kid. So Steve just grew up like most people. He works at an office or whatever. And then at some point in time, he just got the idea of, I want to go back into that mine. I want to pursue my actual dream. And so when he goes back into that mine, he finds what looked like the Tesseract from the MCU. Any blue square, I'll just forever see it as a Tesseract for the rest of my life now. Along with that is like the case for the Tesseract. I'm gonna call it the Tesseract.
And didn't they call it like a ball or something?
They called it an orb. Even though it's clearly a cube. And then he puts these two things together and it leads him to a portal. And this portal takes him to the Minecraft world that we all know and love.
Well, man.
And it looks kind of like our world, but everything's a block. When you really think about it, like that's how the world building works. My voice just cracked.
I will say this, for environment wise, knowing I was going into this being like, okay, they can't fuck up at least like the world building aspect of it, because I'm pretty sure it would still look good. And when I first saw the trailer, I'm like, okay, at least the backgrounds and the environment looks decent.
Mhm.
The animals and the other CGI, like shit out there, not so much. But
Yeah.
we'll get to that.
Yeah. So Steve, he makes a living in this world. He builds a house, he builds another house, and he builds a third house made out of sheep's wool. Pink house! Exactly how he said it. But anyways, some days pass and then he meets a dog that he names Dennis, which I'm gonna say is probably the best character of this movie. Dennis. And, once he finds Dennis, a few days pass, he finds a sanctuary of another portal with a conveniently placed chest. And in that chest, he finds very useful tools to light that portal, that being flint and steel. Yeah, I must say it just like how he did in the movies. So he lights the portal and he goes into it and it opens to a totally different dimension. The Nether.
Are you getting annoyed yet, audience?
Yeah.
Because that was the movie.
Yeah, get ready for that, everyone. So he goes into the Nether and he finds like a civilization of piglin creatures that we all know and love, as well as that's run by some pig queen named Malgosha.
Yeah.
By the way, everyone, I'm literally reading the transcript of this movie because I was too lazy to take notes. I'm literally reading transcript. So Malgosha captures Steve and Dennis, and then Dennis somehow escapes, and Steve tells him, be sure to hide the orb and the case so that the overworld is not in doom or whatever. So Dennis takes the orb and the case of the orb into the overworld and hide it under his waterbed or something. And then Steve's like, wait, I shouldn't have left it there. Sorry, everyone. Bear with me. And then it just cuts to this. So anyways, after all this, we cut to some other character named the Garbage Man. That's his name. Garrett. That's his name.
Garrett the Garbage Man.
Yeah, so he was a champion in the arcade in the 80s. Some arcade championship, because it's a video game based movie, so I guess this has to exist.
That sounds very similar to Pixels.
I completely forgot about that movie. Anyways, he used to be a champion in the 80s, but now he's all washed up. He's working at I don't even know where he's working at now.
A junk store.
Yeah. And the delivery person comes in, and Garrett's like, oh no autographs. But the delivery person's like, oh no, this is an eviction, because, your place is like getting no business. And then what else?
And then afterwards, he goes to like a storage unit thing.
Yeah, it was like a storage auction thingy.
Yeah.
And then Garrett buys this auction, and all he finds is a bunch of junk as well as the orb and the case.
Yeah. Also, a Dan TDM cameo at this point too.
Oh yeah. But yeah. Obviously he doesn't know that this orb means something totally different. He just thinks it's simply junk. After all that, we get introduced to two more characters. Natalie and her little brother Henry. And they both just lost their parents, and now they're living in this new town just by themselves. And they go to their house and they meet their neighbor, Dawn, who just has a bunch of llamas, like as pets or whatever.
Like
which
mobile petting zoo or some shit like that.
Yeah, which you'd think that play a major role since llamas are a thing in Minecraft. We just talked about it earlier, but that's the last time we see those llamas. I don't know.
Do I have a big burp? Nope.
Mm-hmm. But anyways, they settle in at their house, and then Henry decides to go to Garrett's store. Henry, he's just browsing, he's just checking stuff out, and he also finds the orb in the case and whatever. But yeah, he just finds it. But anyways, I guess just randomly cut to school, I guess, after searching for that orb. Henry's in school in science class, and a bunch of kids, think he's a nerd or whatever. I don't know. And then Henry's like, "Well, get this. I can build a jetpack." Because, that's how life goes, I think. So they test out this jetpack. They strap it to a skeleton. The jetpack works, but then it flies off and hits the mascot of a potato chip factory, which is what Natalie is working for, by the way, because potato chip factories exist, I think. I guess they exist.
And I think it malfunctioned because someone sabotaged it, I think.
Well, it was the jetpack that blew up the mascot.
Yeah, but I don't remember if someone
someone sabotaged the jetpack.
Yeah.
That did happen. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, anyways, Henry gets in trouble for messing with something relating to a factory, so he gets sent to the principal's office.
And then he gets picked up.
He gets picked up by Garrett because he doesn't have any parents. So he calls Garrett, being like, "Hey, I need you to pretend to be my uncle." And he goes, "No, I don't do that anymore." Which is just such a random line. Like, wait, he doesn't do that anymore? He used to do that? Okay.
Afterwards, both Henry and Garrett are at his shop, or at Garrett's shop, and then Henry finds the orb, and I think he puts the two things together.
Yeah.
Which creates like a shockwave, and then
I think it pulls him towards the portal,
Yeah.
in the mines. So it takes Garrett, and what's her name? Natalie hears about it, and Dawn, the neighbor, also hears about it. So they're all pulled into this portal, and then that's when they end up in the Minecraft world.
Yeah. Hold on, guys. We'll take a quick break, and then we'll get back to it. Okay, so we just found basically a summary of the entire movie. So instead of just looking through the literal script, and also if you hear any background like the train, we opened the windows because it's getting really, really hot in here.
Yep.
But anyways, continuing on.
Okay, so right after they return into the Minecraft overworld, Malgosha gets alerted that the orb is also in the overworld. So this gives Steve the opportunity to escape. And meanwhile, all this, the four are just surviving just typical Minecraft world, and it reaches nighttime, so skeletons show up, zombies show up. Now, creepers do show up, but they don't act like creepers in the games. They're just chilling there, and they only explode when you touch them. I thought they were gonna go fully in depth of how it works in the games, but I guess they just had to alter it with creepers. Even though creepers are the most iconic thing from Minecraft. But anyways, during all this, the zombies, the skeletons, all that, Henry figures out that you could just punch wood and it turns into blocks. So this gives him the opportunity to learn how to build a fortress, which they do at some point. They build a small little tower, and then, the zombies somehow get up there, even though I don't think they built I think they built ladders, but whatever. I'm not going to question the Minecraft laws or whatever. So, it's looking pretty chaotic, all that shit, but then out of nowhere, Steve shows up and he beats up the zombies, and it's daytime, so the zombies light on fire, and there you go. And then Henry's like, "Who are you?" And Steve goes, "I am Steve." Which, by the way, that was altered from the trailer, because in the trailer it was like, "I am Steve." Not sure why they changed that.
Oh yeah, and he was singing a song during that too, or something.
No, he was beating them up while they were playing some licensed song. I don't remember what the song was, but I do remember Mateo was like, "Why this song of all things?" I don't remember what the song was.
I think they did use "Rock You Like a Hurricane" at one point, if
Yeah.
I'm not mistaken.
Okay. Oh yeah, and I forgot to mention throughout all this, the case for the orb gets destroyed. So Steve tells them that they can get a replacement from a replacement of one in some woodland mansion, which they'll have to go through.
Turn on the ceiling fan.
Okay, yeah. Guys, it's boiling hot in here. But anyways, now that Steve's with them, now these four have to follow him so they can get back home and all that stuff. So Steve, shows them the overworld, goes to the village, and then they ask, who are these people? And Steve goes, oh, these dudes? They're the villagers. They just like to chill, trade, and eat buttloads of bread. They love crushing on loaf. Yeah, that's the stuff I actually remember. Of course, is all the memes. Now I will say, as Steve is showing this village, there's actually a reference to Technoblade.
Yep.
With a pig wearing a crown, which I think it was awesome that they did that.
Probably the other best thing about this movie.
Yeah. Yeah, people were saying about that, which of course is reasonable. But they couldn't hold their shit with Chicken Jockey.
That is a legend.
Yeah. And of course, after all that, Iron Golem shows up. They're just security, that's all. And after that, Steve asks them, you ever wonder what happens when you mix hot lava and chicken? And he sings the Lava Chicken song, which I'm not doing that on here. Yeah, like that.
Yeah, it's not like we were already slowly getting tired of Jack Black after fucking Peaches. Now we have to fucking deal with Lava Chicken.
Yeah. You are not the next Lava Chicken, okay? See here. After Steve shows him all this, the Piglin army shows up. They attack the village, and the war general, he says this: I'm really sorry, but I have to unalive you and stuff.
That doesn't date this fucking film at all.
No. When Mateo heard that, he just left the room because of that dialogue. But anyways, fight happens, and oh yeah, I forgot to mention, Steve shows them, the crafting table and all that, and goes, "This
is a crafting
table.
Here's how it works."
Yeah,
you got yourself a sweet blade.
Yeah. Meanwhile, when Garrett uses it, he makes 2 buckets attached to a chain, and then Henry makes a tater tot gun. Yeah, I remember that in Minecraft. Anyways, back to the village attack. They fight. Don and Natalie get separated from Henry, Garrett, and Steve. So Steve, Garrett, and Henry, they jump off a building with elytras, but Steve only had 2 of them, so he had to hop on Garrett and go, "Coming in hot!" And from there, he was flying on Garrett, and the green screen effect was horrendous on this scene.
Yep.
It was funny. I just freaking remembered. But yeah, Steve is riding Garrett, flying on elytras. Some, I would say, epic battles going on, but it's horribly green screened. Not to mention they had to fit through this tiny little hole, so Garrett and Steve had a 6'9" in order to fit through that hole.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, Montana had to point that out, by the way, when he was explaining this movie to me.
Yep.
Well, yeah, they escape the people and they're falling down. They're gonna fall down on a family of penguins. So Steve pulls out a water bucket and goes, "I'm gonna cushion our fall with this water bucket. Release!" But they land there. They're fine. And so what's mid? Oh yeah, Garrett was wondering if he could get money on their quest, so they stop by this cave that's also rigged with traps, and Garrett finds a bunch of diamonds, so now he's rich. Of course, this pisses off Henry because they basically wasted time getting this, and now they have to escape. They travel on a minecart, but there's a bunch of creepers. Again, the creepers aren't normal creepers. They escape. They almost die, but they're safe. But Henry's pissed off. He's like, "You are literally the most selfish person ever." And here they try to have some heart-to-heart conversation. Garrett's like, Look, you don't get it, kid. My life is horrible. I live in a dump, and you wouldn't understand that, okay? No one would, because I don't have any friends. And then Henry says this, you're wrong. I'm your friend. If I'm not mistaken, literally 2 minutes ago, he was like, you are the most selfish human being on earth. Kind of reminds me of Chronopocalypse with, you and me, we're good friends. If the chief fucks up, you take over. Anyways, after all that, there's also some talking between Dawn and Natalie because I literally forgot about those two. They're just walking in the night forest, and they also encounter Dennis, which will eventually lead them into Steve. But cut back to Steve and Co. They find the Woodland Mansion, and Steve already has a plan of how to get into the Woodland Mansion. And then Garrett's like, okay, don't get mad at me, but I had the orb this whole time. And then Henry says this, you are literally the worst human being in the world. Motherfucker, I thought you two were friends. But no worries, because literally 2 seconds later, it cuts to Steve and Garrett playing saxophones in the Woodland Mansion. And I literally do mean in seconds. They're talking about having this plan. 2 seconds later, they're in this Woodland Mansion. Yeah, the pacing is fucking abysmal, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
So while Steve and Garrett are distracting the pillagers, Henry is sneaking through the Woodland Mansion, finding the storage room, and finding the chest with the case for the orb. And he finds the right chest, and the moment he does, there's an Enderman right behind him, which we'll get into in a minute. But anyways, the pillagers find out that Henry was sneaking in, so it of course alerts Steve and Garrett. And while they're getting ready for a fight club in a minute that we'll talk about, Henry's busy fighting this Enderman. Now this Enderman, he just stares at Henry, and Henry gets these visions of like all his friends saying negative things about him, which gets Henry to fight the Enderman. I don't remember that in Minecraft, and this will never be brought up later in the movie, so why was that there at all? Anyways, while Henry is fighting this Enderman, Garrett and Steve are in the boxing arena. And this is the scene that we all know and probably love.
Nope.
Garrett's in the ring, Steve's in the ring, there's a chicken, and then a box comes down and a zombie falls out. Garrett is scared, and Steve goes, chicken jockey! And everyone throws their popcorn and their soda and their real life chicken. You know, why chicken jockey? You know, I just have to bring that up. Why chicken jockey? It could have been him saying, I am Steve. Or later in the movie, where he says, first we mine, then we craft. Let's Minecraft. Can someone please answer me? Why chicken jockey?
Normally, you would want to kill those fuckers in the actual game. If you can even find one.
Anyways, back on track. Garrett fights this chicken jockey. Henry meets up with them. They all try to escape. Steve escapes using a slime cube and hops on one of the gas blimps, which, again, I don't remember those in Minecraft. But as Henry and Steve try to escape, Garrett sacrifices himself. TNT blows up in front of his face. So he should be dead, right? Should be. I mean, if he had a totem of undying, then yeah, that would make sense. But anyways. And then Steve and Henry, they escape through this, the gassed blimp. And they crash, and then they wake up in a mushroom house. Again, literally in the span of 2 seconds.
Yeah. Also, I want to bring up something. Henry is like unconscious. Like he is not moving. and his sister is like right there, so trying to comfort, like he'll be okay. And then like in the span of like a weird assumption of just clips, they're all of a sudden hugging each other now, like the sister and brother.
Yeah.
Like the editing in this movie is so horrible.
Yeah, literally in the span of 5 seconds. Okay, the pacing literally went like this. Henry's unconscious, in bed, and then, Steve and Dawn, they go out the house. They see the mushroom house. He's like, man, Garrett would love this. And then cut to Natalie and Henry hugging. Literally all that. And the span of me talking about that is when that happened.
Yep. They probably cut so much from this movie.
Yep. Anyways, I forgot to mention.
Cut too much.
Anyways, I forgot to mention that Woodland Mansion thing. Malgosha also stole the orb and the case for it. So, cut to Malgosha with her minions. And then, the piglins are all right, what do we do with this thing? And then Malgosha's like, it's gonna fire a really cool laser beam. Now, when I heard this, keep in mind, this was just when I was starting to learn about the laser beam in the sky cliche. So when I heard that, I was like, no, there's no way. There's no way they're gonna do that. And the piglin put it on a thing, and it fires a laser beam into the sky. Of all the memes and all the scenes I knew about of this movie before getting into it, I did not hear anything about a laser beam.
Neither did I.
So I lost my shit when I heard this.
We were having a laughing fit when we saw that. It's like, no, don't. And then it happened, and we're like, are you fucking kidding me?
Yes.
And then we were just dying of laughter after that.
Yep. So anyways, this laser beam happens and it turns the sky purple. Because I think that happens in Minecraft. I think it was supposed to reference the beacon, but last time I checked, beacons don't change the color of the sky.
I would have been more appreciative if it was a beacon. At least that's something in Minecraft.
Uh-huh. So the sky's purple, and our heroes... I can't believe I just said that. Our characters, they notice the purple sky, and they have to fight Malgosha and her army. So Steve says this inspiring quote: first we mine, then we craft. Let's Minecraft. Oh, so no one threw popcorn at that scene. All right, that's fine. And then we get a montage of the characters doing Minecraft stuff, digging, blowing up skeletons to get bones, forging iron, making weapons, the stuff you actually do in Minecraft. That's just reduced to a montage.
Yep.
So they get all their stuff, montage happens, and now they're ready for this epic fight. Yeah, they have an army of iron golems, one of which has a boots of swiftness, by the way, which when we first watched that, we were like, is this iron golem going to do anything different? Which, yeah, it does. It sprints. If only you can apply that to actual iron golems. And also, Henry has his tater tot gun. Again, that would be useful in Minecraft. Not really. So an epic fight happens, and then and then Henry makes his way to the top of the portal that's on top of the laser beam. Or I mean the laser beam's on top of the portal. So Henry gets up.
Well, it's a laser beam for no reason, but it's attached to a portal.
Yeah.
So they literally made no reason to do that. There's literally no reason for that laser beam that's got to be there. They did a reverse.
I think it's to block out the sun so the zombies don't die, I think. So anyways, Henry makes his way to the top of the orb. He tries to mess with it, but he falls off. And he's about to die. But then out of nowhere, Garrett shows up in his blimp. The guy who blew up with TNT in front of his face. He shows up and saves Henry. And also, I know this is a little bit off topic, but the day we were filming this, I showed Mateo this joke script of a kid's film where the stoic character comes out of nowhere and says, "You miss me?" And Mateo was like, please do not say that line the moment Garrett showed up. He didn't, but if he did, I would have laughed my ass off. If Garrett did say, "You miss me?" Ugh. But anyways, they destroy the tower as well as get the orb, and Steve shows up in his diamond armor, which the armor looks so atrocious. One of the few reasons, it should have been a CG film so the armor would fit. But anyways, Steve fights Malgosha and they defeat the army and they retrieve the orb. So all of Malgosha's minions are dead. And while Malgosha is dying or whatever, she tries to do 2 sneak attacks on Steve, which I'll admit was kind of funny. She was like, "No, trust me. I need to tell you something." And she tries to stab him, and Steve just knocks it out of her hand. I'll admit the joke was kind of funny.
That's like the only chuckle that you'll ever get in this movie.
Yeah. Well, anyways, now they can finally go back to the real world. And, they go back. They ask Steve if he wants to also go back to the real world, but he's like, "No, I think I'd rather just stay in this realm." But I guess Dennis wants to leave into the real world. So Jack Black, being Jack Black, of course, has to have a small musical bit here of him saying goodbye to Dennis. But it doesn't matter because Steve wants to go to the real world with them anyways. And then there's a montage of like them living or how their lives are going in the real world. Yeah.
I think you're missing one of the most important things of this movie.
What, are you talking about the subplot? The villager?
Because that's definitely important to the story, right?
Yeah. I forgot to mention that, probably because I wanted to skip it. But there's this subplot of a villager who left the Minecraft world and got hit by the principal and started dating the principal. It adds literally nothing to the story. And I do mean nothing. But they love to cut back into it. But anyways, yeah, there was a montage. Garrett's arcade is back. And Dawn uses Dennis as well as the other overworld animals to help her zoo business. She had a camel, that could have been brought up here and there, but no. And Natalie started some dojo or something because that's what her character screams, right? And yeah. Oh, and the principal and the villager got married, because that's useful information.
I agree, Phoenix.
There's also some post-credit scene, but both me and Mateo missed that.
Oh yeah, Alex, whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
Played by Kirsten Dunst.
Yep.
Yeah. The person who did Mary Jane.
Mary Jane in the original Spider-Man movies. But yeah, that is the Minecraft movie, everybody.
Yeah, it sucked.
Even though we sort of, but not really reviewed it, I feel like I just watched a Johnny Test episode. I feel overstimulated. Well, it's also really hot right now, y'all. But I don't know if that movie... Okay, here's the thing about this movie. This movie is bad. And I mean so ridiculously bad. But it's also funny in a way. Like, it's funny of how bad it is.
So bad it's good.
Yeah, so that's honestly my opinion on it. The Minecraft movie. This movie is so bad, it's good. But as a genuine movie, like... No, this movie's bad.
Yeah. 3 out of 10, in my opinion. I would... I don't remember what I said The Amazing Spider-Man 2 was a 5 out of 10.
Uh-huh. I'm gonna say the Minecraft movie's like a 4. And something tells me like the people making this movie, they had no idea how to make a story, and they knew this movie was bad, so they're just spitballing it, you know.
And now we're getting Minecraft squared, or the fuck that.
A Minecraft movie squared.
I guess that's the most important thing to note. It's a Minecraft movie, not the Minecraft movie. It's just a Minecraft movie.
Yeah. Imagine you go on YouTube, there's a Minecraft like movie, and it's like way better than the actual movie.
I would, if we had the budget, I bet we could probably do a better Minecraft movie.
Yeah, I guess so.
We just got to do it right.
Yeah. And if it's you know, if it's gonna be on Minecraft, you know, we need to make sure somebody is actually on board with the project. Sorry, not sorry.
Yeah. But yeah, that's gonna wrap it up for today's podcast, guys. This one's all over the place, kind of like this movie.
Pretty much, yeah.
But yeah, Ruben, you know the shtick.
Yep, you guys already know. In terms of review, I mean, we just did the Minecraft movie, so all that's left, you know, want to get to at some point is Fant 4 Stick. Unless we find funny thing, we did watch another movie, that being Monkey, the Stephen King movie. And yeah, that movie was pretty bad, but we didn't even review that. So if we find some other bad movie, chances are we'll review it. Other than that, we got character archetypes. You know, I realized I could have just listed them on my phone, and then we just go through them and then talk about them, kind of like the Aesthetics podcast. So there's that. We got the school one, where we talk about our lives as well as some highlights throughout our school years. We got another one that we want to do where we review the songs for music genres in a nutshell.
Mm-hmm.
That one preferred.
Which, by the way, how are you guys enjoying it? Because this is uploaded during the week of its releases. So let us know if you guys like that in the comments, or just show engagement. For those songs. But yeah.
Yep. And we would preferably have Jordan on that podcast. Other than that, I don't know. I'm blanking on what other podcasts we did have around that time.
Reviewing the Fox and Sony stuff with the group.
Yeah, which we mentioned that one here and there, but we kind of gave up on that mainly because, you know, we actually have other projects we want to focus on this channel that isn't podcast related. We, of course, have the music genres, which you guys are hearing right now as this is released. Then we have Battle for Wits that's going to be released.
No official date as of recording this, but it should be somewhere around September, like for 100% sure.
And then we have another thing that me and Mateo just started randomly doing, of us playing Pokemon games and having our own Game Grumps style thing.
Pretty much. Definitely go check those out. Well, as of recording this, you probably won't be seeing them because I'm waiting for, you know, a good chunk of episodes to be recorded. So that way I can, you know, slowly work. I have content to work with in the future, and only knowing if this actually will become a series or not. So right now, that's something to look forward to. It's nothing's uploaded just yet, or even edited at the moment, because I want to get far into the game enough to where, you know, when we're still playing it, we would be at like episode 1 when we're at like gym 5 or something. So, but on that note, I'm Mateo,
and I'm Ruben,
and we'll see you guys in the next one.